you, it was more about backing somebody that I really believed in, that actually, in spite that I didn't 100% even understand the opportunity, but I suppose you look at me and think that's the same bloke who invested in a dog treadmill, but there you go. It's amazing what you have to make money out of nowadays. So really, for me, the journey has been about coming up with essentially people who have good ideas that they believe in, and I've had probably the opportunity of identifying something in them that possibly somebody else has missed. So my background essentially is not that I'm an exceptional entrepreneur, but actually more somebody that finds those opportunities in other people who have passion, and then provide maybe the capital or maybe a little bit of direction and help on showing them how they could essentially, you know, complete their dreams and their ideas. And then in 2002, I was fortunate enough to sell all the businesses that I had, because when I sold Caan, which was my first business, which I'd never actually exited a business before, and the idea of somebody coming along writing this massive check, the amount of money you probably never imagined, I thought, oh my God, because at that point I'd only ever generated profits, but I'd never sold a business. And I had 14 different businesses at the point. So when I sold Caan and banked the check, I went back and thought, oh my God, I wonder what else they could buy. So it was almost like having this for sale sign up saying buy one, get one free. So basically every business I had was for sale. And by 2002, I'd sold all the businesses that I had, raised a bit of capital, and then look back on my career and say, if I had my time again, what would I do differently? And the only thing that really stood up for me is I didn't have any education. And it's quite interesting that when you go out socially and you meet people, you know, people say, and what school did you go to? Which university? And always I was very good at quickly changing that subject and saying, I think this is an amazing location, what a fabulous building, but avoid the question about where I was educated. So I thought, if I've got my chance again, you know, I've sold the business, I'll go back to school. So I did my course at Harvard Business School, and then came back and thought, as an entrepreneur, you know, I've been quite fortunate in terms of building businesses, and I think sometimes entrepreneurs can be very resourceful, and decided that actually want to do something more charitable and recognise that education for young people, and I suppose maybe because I didn't follow through, and when my father came over to this country, he couldn't read and write, and he was starting a business, and it was quite amazing to watch somebody build a business who couldn't even sign his name. And I thought, actually, if I'm going to do something, what I'd like to do is do something that, you know, educates deprived kids. And rather than writing a check or giving money to a charity, decided to go and physically, you know, to Pakistan and found a piece of land in a very poor village where the maximum kind of accommodation was, you know, like a shed with, you know, people living there with a cow and a chicken and a couple of, you know, cows or whatever. And in that village, it created probably the most impressive educational campus you can imagine, with a library and an IT lab, and we educate 428 children. And not only do, you know, we own the land, we own the building, we employ the teachers, we own the transport, we provide the uniforms. You know, so for me, it's given me probably the greatest pleasure that you can ever imagine, because whilst making money or doing deals is fantastic, but every 6 to 8 weeks when I go to that school and I walk in and look at those kids, you know you're genuinely making a difference, because the lives of those kids, and I don't believe you've got to change the world, but I do believe you can change one life, you know, you can change a nation. So a lot of the time that I spend today is using the capital that entrepreneurship has given me the opportunity to create, but actually put it to use in something that actually is better to me than making money, which is actually giving other people a hope, an opportunity to essentially, you know, believe in their dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Great being here. Thanks a lot.